2011 Lincoln MKX has a brand new exterior and interior design that distinguishes it as a member of the beautiful Lincoln lineup. But style alone isn't going to attract the next generation of luxury buyer. Lucky for them, Ford Motor Company is quickly gaining a reputation as a technology leader, a reputation built on the success of its sync system.
Lincoln's especially is technology with a purpose. It has to have value, right? If technology for technology's sake is not what we're about. So I think that's why my Lincoln Touch and the technologies it brings with it, sync as a cornerstone of my Lincoln Touch, is so important and makes the Lincoln technology really credible and takes it to that next step.
So when we introduced sync, it was really one of our early signature technologies.
If you think about top reasons that people use sync, the hands-free calling is the #1 reason today, and then the next would be to use your MP3 player or portable devices you bring into the vehicle. That was the first generation of sync.
Shortly after we introduced sync, we also were able to introduce 911 Assist and Vehicle Health Report. Very popular, and again, unlike some of our competitors, the 911 Assist doesn't require a monthly payment. The following year, we introduced Traffic Direction and Information, or TDI, that allows the customer to call out from sync and then access traffic information, execute a business search, find sports scores. So a lot of very useful information.
The big watershed moment was the introduction of sync. It was absolutely transforming to this brand in the industry to have a feature that allowed customers to bring their digital lives into their vehicle.
And now you look at it today, and it's probably the most successful automotive electronic product in the history of the industry.
The success of sync put Lincoln on the cutting edge of in-vehicle technology. Now all eyes were on Lincoln again to see what would they do next. The answer: My Lincoln Touch Driver Connect technology.
The My Lincoln Touch started with a very small team, and we started with the customer. We looked at not only automobiles and what people expected from their automobiles, but how did they interact with their consumer electronics? How did pilots interact with an airplane where they have all this information to deal with? How did police officers in their environment interact with the vehicle? So before we looked at technology, we looked at the customer.
So My Lincoln Touch is really a redefinition of the interior cockpit experience for vehicles by taking controls that are intuitive and simple to use that you see in your everyday lives and bringing it into the vehicle in a really modern way so you can interact with your technology in a way that's familiar, safe, and simple.
So My Lincoln Touch builds on sync by using voice-activated controls. You can now go through and control your climate control. You can control, obviously, all the things like your telephone and peripherals and audio through voice commands.
But you still also have the addition of all the technology that's in the center stack. The center stack has a beautiful 8-inch touchscreen with all the functionality. It's got a 4-corner system, so every corner of the screen itself controls a different aspect of the vehicle.
So the 4 primary functions are entertainment, phone, navigation, and climate control. So you can interact with those in traditional vehicles, but what we've done is organize the information in a very logical way to make it more simple to use. For example, we use color coding to convey the functionality.
So color was very important for us to be able to let people know where they are in the user interface. So if I glanced down and it was blue, then I knew that I was in the climate control. If it was green, it was navigation. If it was red, it's audio. And if it's amber, then it's the phone. Each one of those colors were set up so that they're quickly able to be recognized.
What we've done that's unique also is we've brought that information into the cluster. So if you don't want to glance over at the center stack, you can just glance down. It's much quicker. You can get all that information that's in their center stack in a 4-inch display right there in the cluster. And on the left-hand side, you still have all the things you're used to looking at: fuel, temperature, all the vehicle diagnostics. Very impactful, very juicy colors. Those really help make visibility and information much easier to find.
When it came to technology, Lincoln engineers didn't stop with My Lincoln Touch. Instead, they took the opportunity to introduce a number of technologies, some never before available on Lincoln MKX.
So the 2011 MKX brought out other great technology in addition to the My Lincoln Touch. a rear camera, for example, something that is a fairly simple technology but really makes a world of difference for rearward visibility. In the front of the vehicle, adaptive cruise control, which allows you to set the space and distance to the vehicle in front of you. When I think of another technology that came in with intelligent access with push-button start, when you'd walk up and approach the vehicle and you wouldn't have to take a key out of your pocket, you would swipe your hand on the B-pillar and secure code would light up and it would recognize you and unlock. You'd sit down in the vehicle, put your seatbelt on, press the start button.
HD radio is new and available, and basically today there are high-def stations, radio stations available, but unless your equipment is capable of receiving them, you don't realize that that's out there and available for you, which is obviously going to enhance the audio experience.
One of its clear advantages is the quality of the audio itself. Especially on AM, it will sound as good or better than an FM reception of today.